So now that we're up at the top, one thing that I like to do, and this is what I've always done, you don't necessarily have to do this. However, I just feel like it makes it easier pulling this engine out. I like to get this hood off. So I'm going to work on getting the hood off and then start undoing everything on top here. To the side. Look at that, boy. All this space, man. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to set these on those studs just to make sure that we don't misplace them. So now we're going to focus on taking everything off that is going to be in the way, which is intake tube, all the vacuum lines, electrical harnesses. I will be taking the front end off just so I can get the clearance to get the engine crane in here. That will be a wee bit later. Y'all don't understand. I literally spent 5 minutes looking for this 8. Just had it too. That's all me. Taking that off. Insane. Insane. Okay. It's a curse, boy. Tell you what, it is a curse. I mean, it makes sense because the 8 is usually what you're going to use the most, as well as the 10 and 13. But goodness, so annoying. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go that away direction and kind of get stuff out of the way. I mean, I have a lot of tools and things, but I want some of the good stuff that I have at work back here at home. But then if I bring it home, like I do with all my electric stuff, I gotta cart it back and forth and back and forth, which is inconvenient. I don't want to do that all the time. The upper radiator hose off. We are going to take the cooling fan, radiator, all that stuff out so it doesn't get damaged when the engine is swinging around. It's kind kind of crazy to work on a stock vehicle, because my vehicles are definitely not stock anymore. So now we're gonna work on the harness. I mean, we're still in the process of doing everything, but I want to get this harness up and pulled back, and then take the intake manifold off, get the belt off. I want this whole area to be cleared out, so I can attach the load leveler on the cherry picker and get that out of the way. So I'm just gonna kind of mosey on and probably just do like a little time lapse of getting a lot of this stuff done. So see you in a bit. Man, I swear these videos or these batteries don't last for crap. Maybe it's because I'm recording in 4K. Who knows? But I moved the power steering reservoir out of the way. I'm gonna take this bracket off so I can get this camshaft position sensor out of the way. I have all of the injectors and fuel injectors and coils undone on both sides. There was one main connector down here that needs to be undone, and then you fish out the harness from the bottom. These radio interference things got to come off the block on both sides, and then you just peel the harness away. You'll take the fuel rail off, the fuel line off, and then eventually you're just gonna have the harness kind of just off to the side. That's the goal. You're just gonna lay it off like on this side here. So yeah, just keep moving forward. And I still do have to recover the refrigerant. I haven't done that yet. So that is definitely something that's going to need to happen. Do not just vent it to the atmosphere, because if someone sees you, they can report you, and you'll have a nice hefty fine to deal with. I know nobody want to spend money on something that they don't have to. I love rigid tools because they give you that lifetime warranty, but the 3H drive, one of these, the freaking retaining rings always fall off. My 1/2 inch, no issue, not a single issue, but these freaking 3/8 ones, good luck. Alright, so this releases more of the harness, like the battery terminal harness, and then everything that's dangling down below from the starter can come up and just kind of hang out right there. All right. And this bracket can come out of the way. Put this bolt back on here, which I dropped. No big deal. Okay, so that's all good. So you gotta also be careful with these vacuum lines here, because they're made out of a hope and a dream, especially after being on a vehicle for 30 years. I would like to try and get it completely out of the way if I can. Come on. Come on. There, come on. There we go. Whoa. So, camera battery died again, but I got the last bolts off on that side, and I think we're ready to take the intake manifold off. All right. Right. Let's see. So, I mean, looks like an engine that's been working for quite some time. Nothing too crazy. Still has the original style intake manifold with the one-piece gaskets. I'm not using those. Actually, let's look at that intake manifold and see. Not leaking yet. Okay, well, I guess we will carry on. That's the better style anyway, other than that Dorman crap. Okay. So now we can unattach this right here, and then there's another big connector right down there for the transmission harness. And which way are we gonna go? We could take the main connector off of here and here and here and flop that way. Let's do that. Okay, what we're trying to get to is right there. It's like tabbed into that bracket that's on the upper trans bolts. Oh yeah, way better to get it from down here. Okay. There's one. There's two. All right. And this harness just comes down like that. So we'll set this aside. And we'll lower it back down. And we'll actually take off the upper transmission bolts. Right, day 2 of our Mustang engine swap project. Ooh, long day at work, but home now and back to work. So I'm going to take the AC machine off and then just keep trucking forward with disassembly. AC lines need to come off, power steering pump needs to move out of the way, and then trans needs to get out, front clip needs to get taken off. So that's the gist of what we're doing. So you guys just sit back and watch me go. All right. Take these off. I believe it was only about a half a pound of refrigerant that was in here. I mean, we already saw that it was leaking pretty good, so that would explain the low level of refrigerant. For those of you who would like to see what I'm using, it is a 3/4 AC line disconnect tool to take off the suction line, which is the bigger diameter line. And there's been lines replaced recently on here. Nice. For the discharge line, the smaller diameter one, it's a 5/8 removal tool. On the front. You know, I realized I probably just blinded the crap out of you with the headlight. Try that again. Just in case. 5/8 removal tool for the discharge line, the smaller diameter one. 3/4 for the suction line. So I took the motor mount bolt off right here, both sides. I'm gonna get this ground strap off. That goes to the frame right there. And I believe If I remember correctly, that is it. All right. Let's get that off. All right, so we're ready to pull the old one out. I got it all hooked up. My load leveler has seen better days for sure, but I feel like it'll get the job done. So let's get this old one out, shall we?